As you'll remember, last week, a couple of doctored videos showing us slurring House Speaker Nancy Pelosi went viral. So one news organization decided to track down the source. Now the Daily Beast is under fire for publicly shaming a private citizen.
And then he had a press conference in the Rose Garden.
This manipulated video of Nancy Pelosi got more than 4 million views and 60,000 shares on Facebook, and was even shared by President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani.
Sort of visuals that...
Over the weekend, the Daily Beast did some digging and discovered that the doctored videos were uploaded by Sean Brooks, a sports blogger from the Bronx. However, the Beast went on to describe him as an avowed conservative member of Trump's razor-thin African-American support base and a day laborer currently on probation after pleading guilty to domestic battery. Daily Beast editor Noah Shachtman defended the report on CNN.
I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying you all were irresponsible for outing him.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate. First of all, I think he outed himself, by attaching his name to several fake news sites that then pushed the video.
But fellow scribes across the political spectrum disagree. The National Review's Rich Lowry called it harassment masquerading as journalism. The Rap's media editor Jonathan Levine called it a hit job over a joke video. And the HuffPo's Yashar Ali says it sets a really bad precedent. But not so fast. The editor of the website Truth or Fiction says revealing the identity was the right thing to do. Brooke Binkowski says it's important to know where hoaxes and disinformation come from. File under damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I can remember 5 or 6 years back, Dan, when pitcher Curt Schilling went after somebody who tweeted some vile stuff about one of his kids, I think it was. We were all interested to know who that was and who would do it. I feel this has become a political issue, but if it had been Mitch McConnell or, Senator Ted Cruz, and they were in that important position, if they were Speaker of the House, I'd want to know who did it. I thought it was an interesting take. They tracked the guy down, spoke to him on the phone for a long time. He denied, by the way, being the one to post it. He said, he admitted it was on his Facebook pages, but he denied he actually did the posting.
I think some of the descriptive language that went along with it, I may not have gone that far, but I agree with you. If you put something out there in the public space, then you have to be prepared for what the reaction is. If this had been a case of a couple of young people who were passing something among themselves privately, and then someone took that and posted it, for the public consumption, and then we went after them, then I think that's a slightly different story. But you have to think that if you have a website, whether he did it, as you pointed out, or someone else posted it or was behind it on his property, right, his website, once it goes out there, it's public and you can go after him. And I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I have no problem with this whatsoever. One of the rules of the internet is we're all part of the media now, right? Well, if you're going to be part of the media, there's certain things that go with that. However, there's one big problem I have with this, and that is Facebook apparently provided proprietary information to the Daily Beast so that they could find out more about this guy and do their reporting. That is a shocking abrogation of Facebook's privacy obligations. So what the Daily Beast did was absolutely fine. Good for them. But once again, our friends at Facebook are really letting us down.
They were the source.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there'd be less outrage in this current media climate if the Daily Beast had gone after someone who had done a video of Paul Ryan, of not Chuck Schumer, of Paul Ryan, of Mitch McConnell. I think the fact that it's Nancy Pelosi, people are siding in some ways with the blogger. But it's also important to remember this isn't just a 35-year-old guy minding his own business in New York who decided to make something funny and put it up there. The guy is also behind several Facebook sites and web pages that purposely spread disinformation. It's not that he put this on his personal page as a joke to share with his friends. He put it up on those sites that are intended to spread misinformation. I think that's an important detail to remember.
The one question I think that is worth asking that calls the scoop into question a little bit was posed by Yashar Ali from the Huffington Post, which was, what do we gain in terms of understanding this story by learning that it is this particular guy and learning that he has, a criminal past and learning what his race is. The fact that it's someone who deals in misinformation is not a surprise, and I agree with you that sort of diminishes the case to be made for giving him cover. But I don't know what the details that the Huffington Post reported I don't know that they changed the story. I mean, to my mind, the big story remains the fact that you had, once credible public figures like Rudy Giuliani trafficking in this, and that you have Facebook and Twitter allowing it to remain up, even though I don't really think they should.
But it speaks to motive. It speaks to why he's a big Trump supporter. I mean,
Yeah.
the bigger issue for me was, why say that he's an unemployed day laborer? Why say he's part of the razor-thin
that
African
applies
American?
too,
I mean,
yeah.
that was insulting. I think that's where they really got off the mark on the reporting, because they were doing a takedown at the same time that they were reporting who he was.
Yeah, it was about shaming and punishment, less so information.
I really do think that we have to think harder about the privacy rights of people who trust companies like Facebook. There have been newspapers in recent years that they don't like a particular commenter, and they look at their IP address and out them. And the newspaper is the only people who know what the IP address is. To me, that remains the bigger issue here, and I really am troubled by it.
That is troubling. And as you said, it's also totally in keeping with Facebook's
Yes.
track record on this stuff, right? Anytime there's a big decision to be made, sort of a gut check decision, they get it wrong.